And then when a subset of these kids are at school and they get arrested for acting out, we're also going to be fighting this battle in the juvie justice system. But that school to prison pipeline is a whole other briefing, not today. NAACP policy supports English language learners and the importance of protecting their rights in the school systems across this country. We support ESL, we support bilingual ed. We encourage all states to provide adequate education for all students and that appropriate steps be taken to remediate academic deficiencies identified in students who have exited from alternative language programs. We encourage all states to inform parents in their native languages about gifted and talented programs in the district. And we must continue using Title VI of the Civil Rights Act as a parallel enforcement mechanism. Now, Title VI says that if you get federal financial assistance as a state or as a local entity, you cannot discriminate based on national origin or race. And language discrimination is a form of national origin discrimination under Title VI, just as it may be a form of employment discrimination under Title VII, or it may be a form of housing discrimination under Title VIII of the Civil Rights Act. Now, with respect to our affirmative action advocacy, we must use Justice Kennedy's guidelines in Parents Involved, which was the name of the U.S. Supreme Court decision that recently decided a voluntary school desegregation case. We must use his guidelines in furthering our collaborative work with school systems to better ensure that English language learners and others have a fair chance to become successful learners in a more integrated environment. While we work on NCLB enforcement and we work on the NCLB reauthorization process, we must also address the macro structural realities of an anemic civil rights regulatory enforcement mechanism and the federal judicial, especially Supreme Court, selection process. There are many approaches to these dual tasks. Whatever else we do, there is no adequate substitute for our work on voter registration, voter education, get out the vote, and these days, election protection. It's time out for the dichotomous and mistaken view that our work on the details of education policy and practice is over here, while our work on the structure of the civil rights enforcement is over here. It's time out for the dichotomous and dangerous view that we can focus on the implementation of No Child Left Behind, and we must, without also understanding that the Supreme Court, without ever mentioning the act, has created major roadblocks for the people, for the students, for their parents, for their grandparents, uncles, and aunts, to enforce most of these wonderful rights provided by Congress under the Act. Now, this challenge is complicated by the fact that we are in a federal system, and it's exacerbated by the devolution of power from federal to state. So it's critical that working together we have to become much, much more effective in two interacting systems, one federal and one state. So maybe really that's 51 systems. But other than that, it's a piece of cake. Thank you, and we look forward to working with you.